Um, I would say maybe once or twice, just
Okay.
like
All right.
mock
Perfect.
exams. Yeah.
All right. How fearful does that sound? Does it look too intimidating to you?
Oh yes, definitely, because like I said, I've only given it a read, so I would say it's time taking for sure. And also, like, there is too much information in the case study that it takes a little detail oriented mindset to have it sink in. So, yes, it is intimidating.
Perfect. Thank you, Bhavna, for sharing your experience. Yes, guys. So that's the fact. A lot of us who are experienced BAs, we feel that the case studies are actually very difficult, but believe me, they are not. Truly speaking, they are not. We'll see why. Okay, but before that, let me give you a brief of the exam pattern. Okay, so I talked about CBAP and CCBA. You all know, right? IIBA has got three certification for BA. First one is ECBA, that's entry level certification. Then we have CCBA, which is meant for people who have got who can claim 3,750 hours of work as a BA. And then we have CBAP for senior BAs who can claim 7,500 hours of BA work in last 10 years. All right. Now, for CCBA, you won't have case studies in your exams. You'll have 130 questions, and you have to complete those 130 questions in 3 years. Okay. But in CBAP, you have 120 questions, and you have to attempt those 120 questions in 3.5 hours. Okay, so roughly there is 1 minute 45 seconds on an average for each question. All right. Now here's what happens when you take your exam. And I'm quoting this from my own experience and also the experience of all those students who have done CBAP from my batches. The first 40 questions are actually based on case studies. So out of those 120, the moment you start the exam, the first thing that's going to flash on your screen would be a case study, most definitely. Okay. And this case study may be 2 A4 size pages long. Okay. And every case study will have around 4 to 6 questions in it. Okay. So half of the people, all those folks who are not aware of this, they actually feel very scared. They get into that mode of panic. Oh, what is this? Right away. Okay. But believe me, the questions are not tough. We will see that. So one thing is, either you can go through the case study based questions, the first 40 questions, or you can directly jump out of the 41st and start doing the normal routine questions that we have, scenario based questions, and then continue on till 120 questions, then come back again, and then do the remaining 40 questions. That is part of the case study. That's one approach. Second approach is you can do the case study based questions right away. Okay. Now, when I say every case study may be between 1 page to maximum 3 pages long, but the idea here is you don't have to read the case study. Trust me, when you look at the case study, the first thing that you do is you just go to the question, the first question. Read the question, and I bet 80 or 90% of the times it will happen that it's just a routine question that is borrowing some kind of concept or some kind of references from the case study that's there. This is what happens 80-90% of the times. Okay. In fact, for the remaining 20% of the times, what will happen is you don't even need to read the case study entirely. but only a part of it. Now, you may argue that, you may ask that, does Control F work there? I don't think Control F works there. So you cannot look for a particular keyword. You'll have to, so there are headings, and all the information in that case study is kind of categorized. Yeah. So it becomes easy for you to gauge where could that information lie in which section of the case study. That's how it's going to be. Okay. So the first thing that you do is jump onto the question, look at that question, and obviously, if you have already been part of some training with either with Tech Canvas or with some other training institute, your trainer must have told you, right? The first thing that should flash in your mind is what knowledge area it is talking about, because that is going to give you the right direction where you would think. The moment you know that, okay, I'm talking about strategy analysis here, yeah, one of the knowledge areas. What task is it? Is it uh, change strategy? Is it assess risk? Is it talking about defining future state? Or are we analyzing current state in this question? The moment you do that and you're able to pin down to a task level, go down to the element level. Now, obviously, your trainers would have told you that it's good to remember and memorize the inputs and the outputs and stakeholders for every task. I would also recommend that if you can go ahead one step ahead and memorize even the elements, it will give you a very good structure right there in your head, which you can easily access in your exam. So if you know that in knowledge area 6, in knowledge area strategy analysis, chapter number 6 from BAPOC, we have got 4 tasks, right? If I'm talking about a particular element, which task does it belong to? Can I recall all the elements under that task? Can I do that? If you can do it, then that question will actually become very clear to you. And then you'll be able to pick the right one. Now, most of the times, and obviously you all know that most of the times, 2 of the options are absolutely no-nos, right? Big wrongs. You can easily strike them off most of the time. There'll be a contention between the remaining 2 options, right? And that's where your hard work comes into play. How well you have read BAPOC, that will come into play now. Yeah. This is how it's going to be. Okay. So remember, when you are looking at a case study, see, case study is a trap, believe me. The reason why they give you case study is to confuse you, is to bring you under that a sense of panic. Because that's what this exam demands, right? You are a senior BA. You are claiming $7,500 in your career, even over that. And then, obviously, there's an expectation that you can work under that pressure very well. So now here's a test for you. We give you a case study, see whether you can do it or not. All right. This is how it's going to be. Okay. Any questions so far? Feel free. Switch off your mics. Unmute yourself. Ask the question.
Can I go?
Hell,
Go ahead, Bhavna.
Oh, sorry. So you said usually we can start with scenario-based questions and then jump back to case studies, or start with case studies right away. So if I ask you, which one do you personally say is the best approach? Because honestly, people who crack CCBA, I mean CBAP, usually says that they consume more than half of their time just on case studies.
Very good point, Bhavna. So when I cracked my CBAP, the moment I looked at the first 2 or 3 questions, I saw that it's part of case study, but I knew that, okay, it's going to continue like this for some time. So I directly jumped onto, I quickly scrolled through all the questions and then finally jumped onto the 41st, and then I started working on 41st to till 120, and then I came back. That's what happened in my case. I've been with Tech Canvas for last 3.5 years as a trainer, and there was only one student of mine who has attempted all the case studies first, and then she moved on to doing the scenario based questions.
Oh.
Okay.
And if I may ask,
yeah, go ahead.
Personally, in your personal experience, how long did it take for you to complete all the scenario based questions and come back to case studies? Because I was wondering, maybe, just in case, maybe, if there isn't enough time, then what?
Okay. I think we'll have to do some math here. I did my entire exam in 3 years. The last 30 minutes I took only for reviewing my questions. Where I made some changes for 6 or 7 questions, I made some changes. I think there was, in the first 1 hour, I was able to complete those remaining 80 questions. 1 hour 50 minutes around that time. So the remaining time I took 1.5 hours. That was back and fro with to and fro with the case study based questions. So the good thing is, attempt those 80 questions first, come back, and you will see, believe me, I mean, I'm betting on this. The questions, I'm telling this from my own experience, the questions that I found in those case studies were easier than those scenario based questions. Believe me, these were very straightforward, straight arrow questions that I saw in my exam. Yeah.
Okay, and I have one more question before I let others speak. So you were saying about the elements and memorizing those elements, but then everyone knows Babok is such a huge thing, and elements for all the 30 tasks is kind of confusing. So if you have I totally understand that you're asking us to try to memorize them as much as we can, but then just in case if it doesn't work that way,
there is a reason why all the trainers say that you should at least memorize the input output. So bare minimum is input, output, and stakeholders. Okay. Now the reason we say that is lot many times. See, obviously they are not going to simply ask you what is the input for this. Yeah, it's not like that. They will give you a scenario, and then you'll have to deduce whether which knowledge area it is from, and then you will, in your head, you will think, okay, in that knowledge area, under this task, for example, I'm doing RAD, specify and model requirements. What could be the potential input? Now, if you're a senior BA, you can think of lot of things. Your professional experience will come into play. Yeah. But if you have memorized, it will come out in a jiffy, and then you should be able to answer the question. That's another thing. A lot of senior BAs tend to get confused because they let their professional experience come into play. You have to, so when you are answering the questions, you have to stay aligned with Babok, what Babok says about this. See, in real world, things may be very different. And that's why we say, Babok is like a Holy Bible. Now, how many people actually follow Holy Bible? Or for that matter, Bhagavad Gita, and so on. So it's a guideline. It's a way of practicing certain things, the BA activities, but real life is quite different. Right? That's how it is.
Yeah, I think I got the gist of what you're saying. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Bhavna. Yep. On to the next question.
Hello, Harsh. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Lola, go ahead.
Okay. So my question is, now you've just emphasized the fact that we need to align fully with the BAPOC while studying. So what would be, in your opinion, the minimum amount of time that it would take to master that in preparation for the test? What would you say is the barest minimum time?
I think the straight answer is it has to be somewhere between 3 to 5 months. Around that time frame is for average students. If you're a very good, so my actual answer for this is it depends on how good a student you are. Yeah. So go back to your childhood days, and the way you were, memorizing a lot of things, and probably you're sitting for your exams, your board exam, your university exams, yeah, and those things.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll have to
Mm-hmm.
get into that mindset to take this exam. I have seen students who have done this in 1 month time. I have seen students who have done this. There was a student of mine who was appearing for CCBA, and you won't believe, we so in Tech Canvas we have 6 weeks course. By the end of 4th week, he appeared for the exam and he cracked it.
Wow.
So it depends on how much willing you are, how much craving do you have for that goal. Yeah, it's all about that.
Okay. That's very, very helpful. Thank
So
you.
3 to 5 months, I think that's a fair good amount of time that you can take for this.
Okay, on the average. Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Lola. Any other questions before we move ahead? Feel free, guys. Come on. We have plenty of time. Go ahead. Come on, you all are BAs. You're supposed to ask questions, isn't it?
I have a question.
Irene, go ahead, please.
Are there any study groups that can guide maybe group studying and discussions as people prepare for the exams?
There are two things. Are you part of Tech Canvas by any chance?
Yes, I'm part of I took
So
another
maybe,
course, but I will be taking another course.
So maybe you can, if you are already taking a CBAP course or CCB, whatever it is, course with Tech Canvas, all the folks in your batch, you can request them to form a group. That's one. Otherwise, on LinkedIn, you will find a lot of groups like this. Yeah. So LinkedIn, just search for get into that IIBA group, and you'll find all those groups where people are making subgroups to kind of a study group where you can study. I have seen this working for a lot of folks. In one of my previous batches, long back, there were 6 folks in that group. 4 of them cleared the exam. There is some kind of peer pressure that we feel, right? And there is some kind of motivation that all of us give to each other. So that really works well, Irene. Yep. So you'll find that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Irene. All right. I will now share my screen. We will quickly have a look at a couple of case studies. Yeah. All right. So this is the tech. We call it Tech Edge portal. It's provided by Tech Canvas. Yeah. Oh, there's some error. Give me a moment. I'm just trying. What is that? I'm trying to change the browser. Meanwhile, if somebody has a question, I can target that. I'll just switch on to Edge browser. Yeah. So here I'm making an assumption that you guys are at least some of you have already been through the course with either with Tech Canvas or I'm not sure whether some of you are from other training institutes, but you have some understanding of WebOC. Is that assumption correct? I know Bhavna is doing that, has already done that.
Yeah,
Irene,
yeah.
I'm supposing. Lola too. Anyone else? You have gone through WebOC? Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again. And I would need your participation, guys. This session is for you, okay? If on a Friday night you're finding time for this, that means you are really wanting to have this. Yeah. Okay. Can anyone confirm if my screen is visible?
Yes,
Yes, it is.
Thank you for the validation. All right. So we are heading on to case study based questions now. Remember the drill. Don't read the case study. Directly jump onto the question. Okay. That's what we have to do. Okay. So in TechEdge portal, we have, they have added few more. Oh my God. There are around 50 case studies here. Yeah. Okay. So we will take one of them. Now, this is how it'll look like in your real exam. All right, guys. It may contain images. It may contain uh, grids like these, spreadsheets. Yeah. It may contain use cases. It may contain process diagrams, data flow diagrams, plenty of these things. It may contain your some kind of UML diagram. Okay, all of that can happen. All right, and these are just distractors. Believe me, you don't have to look at that. Directly jump onto the question. Okay. Now here's the first question. So in this case study, we have got 5 questions. This is the first one. We don't have time limit right now. So read it carefully. And first thing is, let me know whether you feel the need to go back and refer to some part of the case study or not. Just have a look. And it's okay. The idea here is not to give, the right answers. We are not, nobody's judging anyone. The idea here is to see the approach that we should take when we are attempting the case studies. That's the whole idea for this session. Okay. So go ahead and read it and let me know what you're thinking.
I think we need context of this scenario to understand who's who.
Anyone else who is in line with that?
Yeah, I second that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Vikas. All right. So, as per the Gaines-Sarson notation and keeping the forecasting process as a central application, demand generation can be best described by which of the below listed options. Now, this question is not directly from a knowledge area, so to say, but this is a technique. Do you all agree? All those who have well read WebOC so far, do you all agree?
I guess.
Because what do you think?
Sorry,
This is clearly a technique,
I haven't
right?
completed Babak.
Okay. Anybody who has done techniques? All those 50 techniques? This is a technique, and this is a big hint. Gaines-Sarson notation. The Gaines-Sarson notation is used in data flow diagrams. It's in itself, it's a technique. Data flow diagram is a technique.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now look at that and let me know. What do you think now? So it says as per the Gaines-Sarson notation. So do you see a data flow diagram? Is this a data flow diagram? It's clearly not, right? It's a spreadsheet. Even this is not.
No.
This one is. Now
Yeah.
look at demand generation, and what do you think this is about? The forecasting process as the central application. Forecasting process, where do you see? Okay, this is the forecasting process. Demand generation can be best described by. So now you have to find where do you see demand generation?
It's on the left.
Bottom left, right? So
Bottom
this is
left.
demand generation. Now look at this and try to visualize. This is how you will. I don't care whether you give correct as an incorrect answer. That's fine. But now you have to visualize what did you read in DFD's data flow diagram. It's I think I don't remember the actual number. I'll have to check that. Should be around 10.11, 12, 13, 14, around that. Yeah, 10 point something.
10.13.
10.13, yeah. So it's around that. You will see in that section, Gaines-Sarson is mentioned somewhere. So now keep that Gaines-Sarson notations in your mind and then say which one is the correct. Now you may be confused between couple of these, right? Between these four options, you might be confused. Can you easily eliminate the big no-nos here? The absolute incorrect ones.
Input data.
Data.
Input data, okay.
None of
What
the
else?
above.
And none of the above. Data
Yeah.
source. Do you remember? Can you recall in data Gaines-Sarson notation how? What is the denotation for? Sorry, how do we denote the data store? The data source. So we have two notations in data flow diagrams that Babcock talks about. In real life, there may be more. I don't know. Never went beyond Babcock, but Gaines-Sarson and Jordan notation, right? So either it is parallel lines, right? Or it is three-sided rectangle. Three-sided rectangle is in one side open rectangle. Remember that? Yep. So does it look like this? Does it look like that? One side open rectangle.
No.
What remains then in your option?
External agent.
External agent. The way we have
Data
deduced
source.
this data source has got so if you look at Babcock, it talks about two notations, right? And in this case study, in this particular question, they have mentioned Gaines-Sarson notation. Now, if you remember what is the notation in Gaines-Sarson? What is it? In Gaines-Sarson, we have three-sided rectangle. One side is open, right? In Jordan notation, we have got parallel lines for data store. It's a simple rectangle. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's an external agent. Now, there's one thing. The way we have deduced this answer is quite different from this, the explanation that is given here. But this is another way that I told you. Obviously, if you are a student of Tech Canvas, you will see this uh, explanation when you are doing the case studies. That's one way. But I told you the other side of it. I mean, that's the other way in which you can actually solve the answers logically. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a couple of elements over here that you need to. So these are keywords, right? Gain, Sarson notation, forecasting process, yeah, demand generation. Look at demand generation. Try to find that keyword here. Now, I think I told you in the beginning, Control F doesn't work there. Control find, as in find option doesn't work there. Yeah. Okay, so good, guys. Okay, look at this. Which of the below listed technique is best suited for making reports for the reporting module? Now, if you look at this question, it's obviously it's not referring to even any of the facts that are listed there in the case study, right? That means you don't even need to look at this, look at the case study for this matter. Look at this.
Reporting model. Yeah, this doesn't even need the context of this case study.
Yes. So even these kind of questions will be there in your case study.
From your experience, based on all the questions you have answered in the exam, what's the percentage that such kind of questions where you really do not need to read the case study things happen? Like, what's the percentage? I understand this is not written on stone, so it's just for understanding.
I told you in the beginning, right? I think it was almost like, in my case, it was almost like 90% of the times.
Wow.
There was only one or two case studies where I had to refer to only a small paragraph just for a calculation. That's all.
Okay.
Otherwise, it was very straightforward kind of questions. And so maybe once we end this, before we are ending the session, I'll give you my experience on that day, particular day. Yeah. Okay. Back to the question. What do you think?
Data mining.
Data mining. Okay.
Modeling, data modeling.
Data modeling. All right. We have two answers. Now, because we have two conflicting answers, can we eliminate the big no-nos here? For reporting, do we use data flow diagram?
Data flow diagram we can mail.
We can eliminate. Okay, fair. Concept modeling. If you have read Babok, concept modeling is actually it gives you those core concepts about a particular domain and how they associate with them. So in real world, when you are making ER diagrams, just before making ER diagrams, entity relationship diagram, when you are looking at the keywords that are there in a particular domain, for example, if you're working with Amazon, right, you will have invoice as an entity, you'll have customer as an entity, you'll have order as an entity. How they relate to each other, that's part of concept modeling. Yeah. So will that help in reporting?
No.
Okay. So now, if you all agree, can we eliminate concept modeling and data flow diagram?
Yeah.
So now remains data modeling and data mining. What does data modeling talk about? Because I think it was you, right?
Right.
Yeah. What was your thought for data modeling?
Because this data modeling defines the data sources, and it is used in a reporting module. It explains best with the structures, tables, relationships, and fields. So
Okay.
I think
Okay. No, you are absolutely right. I think 80% right. Let me call it that way. Data mining, anyone? What do you think? What is data mining? What happens in data mining? Why do we use data mining?
Data mining helps to find the patterns with the previous reports.
Sorry, come again. I accidentally got muted.
In data
So,
mining is like going deep into the data and searching how it happened, what are the causes, and
Okay,
we
you're
need to
right.
organize the data.
You're
Is
right,
is
Vikas.
data is in correct form? These are the things we can find out. If there are any requirements, we can transform the data into the required formats. Then we evaluate it, and after getting the results, we come to some conclusion.
You have already answered that, Vikas. Now look at that.
Right,
What is the whole purpose behind
right,
doing data mining?
right. I think the data mining is the right answer.
Sorry, I'm kind of pushing you guys. So have a quick look at the
Correct.
explanation. Yeah. Makes sense. So whenever you see, guys, that keyword reporting, it actually. So these are the keywords that you need to look for. Now, if you have started reading back, so let's say you have just joined Tech Canvas and you have started going through Babok, you won't understand a lot of it. I think in the first reading, it'll only be 10-20% that you'll understand. And you will see that, every other topic, every third page, you are reading the same thing that you have already read.
Right.
And at the end of it, you will understand nothing. You will say, if I ask you something, then you won't be able to recall anything.
And everything seems similar.
Similar, exactly. And this is very natural, guys. I bet on this. You won't believe. Maybe someday I'll talk about this story of mine that happened.
Okay.
When I joined this course, before that I had read Babok for almost like 1 year, 1.5 years.
Okay.
Very well. Then 7-8 times I had read, I'd memorized input output, and then I joined this course. Even after that, I took 5 months to clear my exam. I had this fear of failing. I think it's pretty natural with people, right? Okay.
Right.
All right. I think this should be fairly easy. Now, even for, okay, so first things first. Okay, guys, take a pause. Madhuri, was there a reason you muted me accidentally or?
No, sir, it was the mistake.
Okay, thank you. All right, guys, look at this question. What do you think? Is there do we need to refer to the case study for this?
No, that's a
no, it's a
conceptual
right
question.
question.
Perfect. Okay. And what do you think is the answer? This is open for all. Guys, come on. All of you should participate. Wait.
I would go with logical data model
And your reasoning is?
because in terms of the database architecture shown here, we have it in sort of a schematic, but then that's just me guessing.
Okay. Very close.
Okay.
All right. So logical data model talks about normalization. That's the easiest. So if you want to remember what is logical data model, talk about normalization. Normalization as in maintaining the data integrity. uh, Boise Code normal form, all those folks who have done their engineering or probably computer application courses and those kind of things and have read uh, DBMS, database management system, as one of their uh, syllabus, as part of their syllabus. If you remember Boise Code normal form, that's what logical data model is. Okay. We have conceptual data model where we are just talking about entities and the relationship between those entities. That's the logical data model. When we are talking about that's the conceptual data model. Okay, entities and their relationship. So again, going back to college days, if in your unis you have seen uh, entity relationship diagrams, that is part of your conceptual data model. Logical data model we are talking about now, we are further progressing to make it turning it into a table, a database table that will reside somewhere in Oracle or SQL Server. Yeah, something like that. That will be your logical data model. And then physical data model talks about your performance, concurrency, security, and actually creating the table in your using those commands, create table, table name with these columns. Yeah, that's your physical data model. Okay, I've given you the hint. There's nothing called a strategic data model. If you have read the book very carefully, you would see that there's no such term as strategic data model. Yeah. All right. With that information that I've given, what do you think? Come on, guys.
It would be conceptual.
Conceptual talks about entities and relationships. For example, if you're working with Amazon, customer is an entity, order is an entity, supplier is an entity, and the relationship between these three. Customer places order, that relationship is places. Yeah. So that should be part of your conceptual data model. Logical data model is when you are trying to turn it into to maintain the integrity of the data, and that's where we use BCNF. Okay, I can't see the chats, guys. Does anyone has any questions? Okay, that's Madhuri. Sorry. All right, back to you again, guys. What's your answer?
Other two options are left, which is like, I think, physical data modeling.
I'll I won't make it more suspenseful. It's actually physical data model. Okay. It's talking about database module, right? We are talking about Oracle here. We are talking about SQL Server. We are talking about Aurora, right? MongoDB and so on. We're talking about that now. Physical data model, how it will be physically organized. Yeah, that's your physical data model. Okay, no problem. I know. I think obviously we need good readings of the book for this. Okay, this is a good and a very good question. One of my favorite questions. Go ahead. Take time, because there are a lot of confusing elements here. Confusing unless you have not read the book carefully. That's all. That's the key here.
What do you suggest? Reading Bobak book and then taking the classes is a good way, or after taking classes we need to read the Bobak, or is it the third option that while reading attending the classes and we need to read the Bobak according to that current day's explanation?
Okay. So honestly speaking, because first option nobody gets to see. my first preference is I would love to see students in my batch who have already read the book thoroughly. They have memorized everything and they are just asking relevant questions when we are doing the session.
Okay.
That's my first preference. That's the best way of doing it. And believe me, nobody does that. Yeah.
Sorry,
So
which
all
one?
the students,
Which type is this?
the first one, as in people have already read the book
Okay. We need to read
couple of
Babak
times,
first and then I will join.
then you join the course. Yeah.
Okay.
But nobody does that.
Right,
People
right.
join the course
After joining
and then
course only we come about
yes,
to know about Babak.
yes. Then they get to, some of the people get to know about Bebok then, and some of them they know about Bebok. They have been trying, but they find it boring. But still, they are able to ask questions. Yeah,
Okay.
that's second.
Thank you.
So even during the sessions, if you can find time for yourself, go back. Obviously, there's a week's time, 5 days. Yeah, with you, and everybody is busy the same way. Yeah. I think every professional is equally busy in some way, either in professional ways or domestic ways or
Yeah.
emotional ways, whatever. So everybody is busy. This is your goal. You have to do it. How you want to do it, it's up to you. You cannot argue with God that saying that God, why did you give me this? It's such a tough situation for me. I think everybody has got tough situation.
Right. Harsh, can I ask you a general question?
Good.
Yeah. How is the market for a BA
It's still
fresher?
good. It's fresher. It's good. I think a lot of there. In fact, there have been students from Tech Canvas who have joined as freshers. Freshers, as in they did the course, they got their ECBA certification, they got placed. See, somewhere you'll have to do some kind of certification to prove your validity, right?
Exactly.
The reason is the HR. If you look at HR's table, you'll have 500 resumes filed, BAs.
Yeah.
They can't screw. So there has to be a means of scrutinizing all these folks, right? So they
Right.
look at only those who are certified. Somebody who's certified means at least they have learned something from the book itself. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Back to the question, guys. What do you think?
I think we can eliminate SWOT analysis because that talks about different aspects of a solution, but not the financial aspect of it, or maybe this. And risk analysis and management talks just about the risk impacts, but not the solution costs and creating costs and all that. So estimations talk about.
In your SWOT analysis, I wanted to argue, but I won't. The cost, for example, it may be your weakness that you are not. You don't have enough cash in hand as a business.
Yes, that goes into threat. Yeah, I was thinking that while I was saying it.
It's okay,
But then
but I think
does
your
it?
understanding is right. So I'll also SWOT talks about your strength, weakness,
Yeah, the
opportunities,
finance
right?
is
So
not the biggest
yes,
part of it.
yes,
So I mean, the numbers aren't the biggest part of it. So I would say
correct.
financial analysis and estimations. I'm kind of confused between these two. But then it says expected solution benefits. Cost of creating a solution, cost of operating a solution, potential risk. I would say financial analysis, maybe.
Okay. Anyone else who wants to contest this option from Bhavna? I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Who's thinking differently?
I
And
believe it's
okay,
estimation.
estimation. That's Ramila, right?
Yeah.
Why do you think it's estimation? And Bhavna, by the way, financial analysis, I think it makes sense. It looks like, why? Because we are talking about benefits, cost of creating the
Mm-hmm.
solution, cost of operating
Mm-hmm.
the solution, potential risk impact. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You're heading in the right direction. Ramila, what do you think?
So in the question, I'm saying the word like expected solution, right? So I believe expected means how long it would take, the duration of getting right.
Okay.
So I remember if it's regarding to the time period or something, then it's like estimating how long we will get that benefit out of it, like that. So that's why I think it's estimation.
You have been quiet for a while. You should have you should have participated. Yeah. Okay. Let me. I think this is the first. I should have done this earlier, but let me do it now. Okay. Romila's point. I will pick. So, what was that? Estimation, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
She talked about estimation. She chose estimation. Look at this. It's technique number 10.19. And estimation is used to support decision making by predicting attributes such as cost and effort to pursue a course of action, expected solution benefit, project cost, business performance, potential value anticipated from a solution, and cost of creating a solution, cost of operating a solution, potential risk impact. That was the key here. Getting it. That was the key. So this was verbatim, as in quote unquote, right from Babok. Okay. Yeah. It's estimation. And that's why I, right in the beginning of this question, I told you, right? It's a very, very beautiful question. Well phrased question. The first time that I did this question, I also chose financial analysis. And then I learned, okay, you have to read Babok very carefully. Yeah. That's correct. Let's see, one. All right. Very interesting question again. With reference to the sponsor definition in Babok and information in the case study, who is the sponsor for BAL? Now, obviously, I think for this, we need to go through the case study. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, before we jump into into the content of the case study, who is the sponsor? Does anyone remember? What does Babok say about it?
Sponsor is the person who accept and approve the changes.
Scope. Very close. Yes. Scope. And remember one thing, they are the people who are controlling the budget also, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So these are the things that you need to look at. So for the sake of time, I don't want to, it's Friday night. I don't want to kill your time. So you'll these kind of in your exam, automation and then some kind of grid, some forecasting it. And then there is some problem statement and business requirement, and you will see Phil's and Phil's name appearing here. They have deliberately chosen this name just to confuse you guys, okay? Phil and Phil. So this is where the crux of the problem is. Read this carefully and then tell me what your answer is.
I think Phil is the sponsor because he's accountable for all the commercials. So he has initiated the what do you call the initiative? So
Okay, so look at the question. With reference to the sponsor definition in Babok and information in the case study, who is the sponsor for BAL? Is it Phil, Matthew? Both or Phil? Can we eliminate? Okay.
Can you go back?
Yes, that's what I was expecting.
Please. Yeah.
So I'll keep it over here. Here you are.
Okay. Of Phil. So Phil is a company.
Okay, so Phil, you can eliminate.
Yeah, and he decides in collaboration with so with the full right definitely. Okay. Commercials. Oh, maybe it's Matthew because he's the CEO and he started it.
No, I guess the answer is both. Since I guess the CEO he is having the authority to approve the scope and self-based protesting. Who is having the authority here to control? I believe that is. I think both of them are responses here.
Romila said both of them.
I think she's right.
Anyone else? Vikas, what do you think? Irene, Lola. I remember the names because you have talked to me. Anyone else, by the way, from the group? Come on, this is not your real exam. It's okay. You just need to know the approach. Yeah, it's just a learning for you, right? You may be wrong, which is okay. And it's good to be wrong. You know why? I'll tell you that. It's good to be wrong because the moment you see that you are wrong, when you look at the explanation and you read, go through that, you tend to memorize that all your, for a long period of time. Certain concept that you missed. And now you see the explanation. Oh, okay, I was wrong here. Now I'll remember this. That's how it is. Okay. So it's always good to be wrong. Come on, choose your answer, guys.
It's
I'll go
it's
with
both of them.
both of them. All right.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. Okay. That's both of them. Wonderful. Good. So enjoyed this. I did only one case study. My target was to at least do 2 or 3. But anyways, if you're part of Tech Canvas, believe me, I mean, you have got 50 case studies now to complete. Yeah. So you can do it anytime. But remember, guys, when you look at a case study, the reason why that case study is there is because they want to test your real mettle that you have, as a BA, as a senior BA. Come on, this exam is not for kids, believe me. I mean, you have to be really serious about this exam. This is not some exam that you pay the fees, you do a 2-day training, and then you get a certificate. No. If you look at the IIBA website, I recently saw that in one of my batches. 24,000 people have that certification of CBAP. Imagine 7 billion of population on this planet, and just 24,000 people have done that.
Wow, really? I didn't know that.
Just have a look at that. Yeah. If you see, oh my God, that AI thing. Oh, certification. I think it's registry. Why is Anthropic making such a big news out of nowhere, man? Come on.
24,000 people are certified in
certified in
CBAP. Oh,
CBAP.
okay. ECBA
Yeah.
is 19,000.
Yeah, look at this.
Tier 26.
CCBA is very low. Why? Because the moment you do ECBA, you don't target CCBA then. You directly, we'll take another 2-3 years and then we'll target CBAP.
Okay.
I targeted CBAP directly.
Wow.
Yeah.
But anyways, by that time I already had good amount of experience in my career. So I also did this course, this certification, CPOA for product ownership. Found it useful. It's interesting. Okay, so back, guys. I think you know what lies there. What that mantra is, right?
Yeah.
Right. You don't have to go through this. Just directly jump out of the question and read it like a question. Don't even think about case study. Case study is just to confuse you, just to bring you back into that trap. Okay, that's it. That's the mantra for this. So all of you know, I think a couple of you guys are well placed. The way you guys were, all those who were interacting very actively. There's a suggestion for you. I think you are doing good, very good. I was not expecting these kind of arguments from you guys. You guys, as in, I was thinking that probably this is a session of somebody who is doing it for the first time. Yeah. But the way you guys did it, couple of you, I think it's pretty good. So my best wishes to all of you. Yeah. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. You can get in touch with Madhuri, and she can relay your message back to me, or you can directly connect with me, and we can talk someday. Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Perfect. All right.
But just one moment, sir.
Sure.
To everyone in the call, like I have shared business analyst connect group. Like it's a WhatsApp community group. If anyone are not part of that, like you can simply join that group. Like you'll be getting an updates of tech canvas resources and other BA details. And apart from that, like I have also shared my number. Myself, Madhuri. I'm a course coordinator at Tech Canvas for CBAP and CCBA. So if anyone has any doubts, like regarding the training at Tech Canvas or something, like you can directly reach out to me on the same number. Okay.
Thank you,
Uh,
Madhuri. So, guys,
I'm having
please. Yeah.
I'm having one question. So
Go ahead, Romila.
this feedback I got from the previous batch mate, I guess. I'm not sure. So he mentioned that first 50 questions will be the case study questions, and then it will come like a definition or straight through questions like that. So he suggests me that skip first 50 skip means like save it for later. First,
Correct.
then come.
Correct.
Will that work?
Absolutely, yes, Ramila. 90. This is what I talked about in the beginning when I was discussing this with Bhavna, I think. Yeah. First,
Sorry, I joined the meeting.
I'm sorry about that. First 40 questions. In my case, it was 40. I think most of the students who have taken the batches under me, in their case, first 40 questions were case study based questions. Skip that first. There was only one student of mine uh, uh, who had done the case studies first, and later on she moved to the other questions, the scenario based questions. And you know what? Interestingly, turns out she was my friend actually. I told her right up front that don't do it like this, and she was I'll do it this way. So there are both the ways are there. I'll still suggest safe side is go with the do the remaining questions first and then come back to the case studies.
But I believe the case study questions will have more weightage, right?
No, it's not like that. See,
Okay.
if you know the you know the how IIBA assesses your performance against a test. They are going to all these questions, even the case study based questions, are actually from some knowledge area. You know that, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
Let me show you this. In fact, the weightage. This is how it is, right? So we are talking only about 6 knowledge areas within all those things that we have talked about today. They are transcending across these 6 knowledge areas. They are overlapping with the 6 knowledge areas. Yeah. So you have to score higher. Your target is to score higher in all these 6 knowledge areas. That's it. And in my experience, there were only 2 people who, 2 of my students who were able to score higher.
In all the areas.
Otherwise, so they were higher in all the knowledge areas. And I'll honestly say what my score was. I had 4 hires and 2 comparable.
Okay.
But thankfully, nothing. There's something called as lower also. If you get
Yeah,
lower somewhere, yeah,
that
that
getting lower in even one of these knowledge areas means
yes,
that you're not getting the certification. So,
there is a
like a
likelihood, there
saying.
is a possibility. No, but for that, if you are compensating with a higher, that also works. So we
Oh,
are not
really?
sure how it works, how that algorithm works. Your target is score higher in all the knowledge areas.
Okay.
That's how it is. So it's and believe me, guys, it's tough. The exam itself is not tough. The content of Babok is not tough. It's the preparation part where people fail. That's all.
Bebok reading it first time was definitely very exhausting.
That's what happens with a lot of, see, in a batch we get 14, 15, 15 to 25 folks. Only 4 or 5 appear for the exam. Actually appear. Although they crack it, that's fine. But a lot of people just quit midway. So I always in my batches, I always say this to everyone. This exam is not about really being a BA. This exam is all about understanding what you really are and whether you want to change yourself or not. So this is that last that cane that you are going to have from your teacher. Okay, that will teach you that, boss, you are doing something wrong. We have these new year resolutions, right? I'll hit
Yeah.
the gym 5 times a day in a week. I'll read a book in a week. We start, but we never complete. That's the whole problem. This is what it is. And this is what I wanted to talk about in the end. Yeah? Believe me, the day you do it, you will truly rediscover yourself. That's my promise. Okay. And with that promise, I think it's high time I should call it quits. If you want to get in touch with me, you have Madhuri has my number. Let her know and she can connect you with me. Yeah.
Yep.
With that, have a good time and God bless you all. Guys, look forward. If you have a goal in mind, crack it, achieve it. Yeah. That's what life is all about. All right. With that, good luck to all of you. We'll catch some other day. Yep.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
God bless you all.
Thank
Bye.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Ash.
Thank
Take care.
you very much.
Thank you.
The recording has stopped.